All right, everyone, it is Marcothon, and today is day 2. No, December 2nd is what we are on, and today I ran 5 miles. So remember, in Marcothon, the goal is to run a minimum of 25 minutes or 5K. Now, what I did not tell you yesterday, so I have been doing Marcothon. This is my third Marcothon, and the first 2 times I did Marcothon, it was typical. Well, the first year, I think I hit 100 miles when I did that. And then last year I was really sick, so I did pretty much the minimum. I think I hit about 90 miles, give or take. Pretty sure at least 90. This year I have been running pretty consistently the last 2 months. It's the first time I've done Marcothon where I've had a really good base of miles coming into this goal. So in November I ran like 72 miles, and I actually ran the last 2 days of November. So my streak should be at the end of December, it should be like 33, 34 days. And I typically like to run the first day of the year, so hopefully I won't get injured and hopefully everything will go well. Couple fun things. So today I ran 5 miles, and I did it in under 50 minutes, so under a 10-minute mile, and I feel really good. I felt like I could have kept going. Some fun things about today is that it was cold, at least cold for me. I know some people wouldn't. I got warm. I'm sweating. You'll see me if it is even the slightest bit chilly. Very overdressed. And I don't like being cold. I would rather sweat than be cold. So I'm probably a little bit overdressed for today. You'll probably see this hat over and over and over again as I pop in for these videos with all of you. So this was a gift. This Garmin was a gift to me maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and this poor thing, I mean, I treat it pretty well. I mean, I'm not an ultra runner. I run 3 to 4 times a week on good weeks, and then every now and then I go weeks without running. And so it's really funny because the bands have broken off on my Garmin, so I have to now carry it. And then when I was at the beach over Thanksgiving last week, this happened. Oh, look how sad that is. So I use the end of a Q-tip now in order to turn my Garmin on and off. Oh, that's so sad. This is also what being an entrepreneur is like, right? Like, unless I absolutely have to spend money on something, I pretty much don't. When I became an entrepreneur, so typically I've only ever had 1 pair of running shoes. But when I became an entrepreneur, right before I left corporate America, I did this thing where I bought 2 pairs of running shoes because I knew that there was a possibility that it could be a while before I could shell out $85, $90 or more for a pair of good running shoes, which is important. And you know, that was 3.5 years ago, and guess who hasn't bought a new pair of running shoes? You don't want to see how sad my running shoes are, but that's another story, right? Or that's as much as the story as I'm going to share with you today. So it also means that I value other things over my running equipment, because I have bought a new pair of sandals because mine broke, and sandals I wear every single day when the weather is warm enough. So goal setting, let's talk a little bit about goal setting and what I want to accomplish in this year's Marcothon. Like I said, this year is the first time I'm going in with some really good mileage underneath me, and I'm feeling really strong and I'm feeling really healthy. And I'm scared to say that out loud, right? Like Murphy's Law, if I say it out loud, then I'm, knock on wood, I'm terrified that something's going to go wrong and that I'm going to F it up. But right now I'm feeling really strong, really good. I feel like I'm going into this in pretty good shape. So I typically run Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then I do a long run on either Saturday or Sunday. So I'm hoping that I can keep up my normal kind of like, you know, normally I'll run like 3 to 4 miles on Monday. I'll run between 5 and 6 miles on Wednesday, and then I typically run like, 5 or so miles on Friday, give or take where I am in my training. And then I do a long run, anywhere between 6 to 10 to more mileage on the weekend. So I'm hoping to keep up that normal mileage for 3 to 4 days of the week, and then just hit the 5K minimum the other days of the week. So we'll see where that puts me at the end of Marcothon, but I'm kind of hoping for my highest running mileage ever in the month of December of 2020. Because this has been a crazy year, right? All of us can say that. That's something that almost every single one of us can say, is that this year has been like none other. And, I want to go out feeling as physically healthy and strong and in shape as I can leaving 2020. And that's something that's within my control. So that's what I'm doing. Now, goal setting, what is my why? So, I said I'm doing this thing. I told you that I'm doing this thing because it gets me outside every single day of the month in December, which is a tough month for me. I tend to have some seasonal depression, and it's important for me to be outside. It's also important for me to keep my endorphins up, moving my body, right? Getting those happy chemicals flowing through my brain as naturally as possible with exercise. And so that's a really important why for me. One of my top 5 core values, and if you haven't done your core values yet, I'm telling you, you really need to identify your personal core values. But for me, one of my top 5 core values is health, and running is really important to me. Keeping my body, my cardiovascular system, specifically that heart health, is super important to me. And I know that running can help me keep my heart health good. And so that's a piece of what I do. And so this is typically a time of year where if I don't set a goal like this for myself, I slack, because it is so hard. So I was listening today. Sometimes when I'm running, I don't listen to anything. Sometimes I listen to podcasts. Sometimes I listen to my Spotify playlists. I have different playlists. But today I was listening to Brene Brown's Unlocking Us, and she had David Eagleman on. He is a neuroscientist. I love neuroscience. I'm such a geek when it comes to the neuroscience behind things. And he was talking about Ulysses' contract, right? Like Ulysses is the one in Greek mythology who, when he knew his ship was going to be going by the sirens, that he had his crew fill their ears with beeswax, and they had him tie him to the mast of the ship so that when they sailed by those sirens, he wouldn't be tempted. So me making the commitment to myself to do Marcothon is kind of like that Ulysses commitment to myself. Like the me of, I literally start dreaming about Marcothon and how much I can't wait for Marcothon in like January, to be honest. But I make the contract with myself typically in the summertime and say, hey, I'm going to do this. And then I have time to prepare, right? Like I can physically prepare my body leading up to Marcothon for the shape that I want to be in to start, as well as like I have a really strong why that I lean on when I need it. There's another component to this group that I think is super fun, that helps keep me going, especially on the really, really hard days, because like in the beginning, it's easy. What you're seeing right now is someone who is, it's sunny, it's cold, but it's not that cold, and it's that beginner's energy. I'm going to sound and look a lot different as we move through this challenge, but one of the things that keeps me going on those really down and hard days is our Facebook group. So for me, the community commitment, there are about 50 people in this Facebook group. There are a few people in the Facebook group who are just lurkers. They like to like to keep up with what we're doing, but they're doing maybe their own challenge or no challenge at all. Maybe they have a partner or a spouse who's doing the challenge, and they're just watching what's going on. But the majority of the people post every day. They might post a picture of their Garmin. They might post a picture of themselves post-run. They might show a picture of themselves running. You know, in the past when we would do group runs together, you know, we'd do a group run photo from Marcothon. And knowing that I had to publicly, you don't have to do anything with Marcothon, but for me, I liked to every day post a picture of my Garmin, and every day a picture of myself, and just like it was a way of checking the box, like done, did it, I accomplished today's goal of running. That was a really great way for me to feel accountable to others, and it was also a fun little satisfying check, I did this, even especially on the days that I didn't want to. So that's where we are. Day 2, we are up to, yesterday I did 3.1, today I did 5.6, so that puts me at 8.16 so far for December. I'd say that's a pretty good start, and thanks for hanging out with me and talking to me. If there is a goal that's important to you that feels really big, maybe even insurmountable, maybe we need to talk, and maybe we need to figure out what bite-sized chunks you can make that goal, like Marcothon. What's the smallest steps that you can commit to that might be a little bit of stretch in the long run with sustained effort, but in the beginning is going to feel really easy. So definitely talk to me if there is a goal that you know that you can meet, but maybe you need some accountability. That's also another reason to bring in a coach. If you want to develop a new habit, doing something new that's outside of your normal routine, but you could use a guide that's been there before, talk to me. Let's schedule a discovery call, a free 30-minute discovery call to see if my coaching is right for you. These, big goals are definitely accomplishable. It is possible if you have the right plan, a support system, and cheerleaders in your corner. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.